Shalom Uvracha. The pasuk tells us at the end of Parashas Vayeschanan that Lo merubchem, Hashem doesn't choose us because we are many. Ki atem hama'at mikol ha'amim, because we are the few among the nations. And the obvious question is that surely 3 times in Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu says that we are many like the stars of the sky. V'inechem hayom kekuchvei hashamayim laroiv. We are many like the stars. Even in Shmos, we're already described as being a nation that is numerous, a nation that grows exponentially. And this, of course, fulfills the promise of Hashem to the forefathers. He promises them that they'll be like, that Avraham Avinu's offspring will be like the sand on the sea that cannot be counted. And the question then is, how can the pasuk tell us that we are few among the nations? Surely we are many. So the Rishonim grapple with this question. Rashi, Targum Yonason also, says that the understanding isn't numerical. It describes our character. We are meek, we are modest. Rashi brings Avraham Avinu that says, Va'anochi afar va'efer, I am like earth and dust. Or Moshe Rabbeinu, who says, Nachnu ma, what are we? We are nothing. Meaning we are meek, we are humble, we are modest. It's a character description rather than a numerical description. On the other hand, the Chizkuni, the Rashbam, they explain that the idea is we are numerically small relative to the nations of Canaan. Those are huge nations, powerful, and nevertheless we emerge victorious in our wars against them. But the wording of the pasuk suggests a third explanation, and this one is given by the Sfarnu, because the pasuk doesn't speak objectively about the numbers of the Jewish people, but rather in the context of choosing. And it says that Hashem didn't choose us because we are numerically great, but rather, why did He choose us? Because of His ava, because of His love for the Jewish people, and because of His commitment to the oath that He gave the forefathers. Meaning, the subject of the pasuk is a subject of choice, and that choice constitutes the relationship between the Jewish people and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Says the Sfarnu, that relationship is not a transactional relationship. Hashem doesn't need us for our numbers, for our service, for what we can achieve in the world on His behalf. No, Hashem doesn't need that. If we would be many, if we would be the most powerful, the strongest nation in the world, then yes, the choice would look like an instrumental choice. But it's not. It's a choice of love. It's a choice of intimacy. It's a choice of relationship. And that's why it says the pasuk, Ki atem hama'at mikol ha'amim, a statement that even though at the time we're already a very numerous people, and thank God, millions of Jews in the world, but those millions of Jews make up a fraction of a percentage of the world's population. Compare the Jewish people to Christians, to Muslims, to nations around the world who are exponentially greater than the Jewish people. But that smallness, says the Sfarnu, isn't something that we should be bitter about, because it defines a relationship that isn't in terms of power, but rather in terms of relationship itself. And sometimes the power, the size, the numerical greatness can compromise the intimacy of the relationship. If the power is too great, then it by definition becomes instrumental. It by definition becomes a relationship of strength, a matter of power, of achievement. The fact that we remain small ensured that our relationship with Hashem was always one of love, of conversation, of intimacy, of relationship, always, rather than a question of power. And today specifically, in a time that we go from Galus, from Tisha B'Av, where we mourn the hardships of the exile, and now we go to the comfort of the weeks after Tisha B'Av that take us through to Elul and to Rosh Hashanah. This is a time for reflecting on this matter, because Today we're in a remarkable position, a position of territory, of sovereignty, of power that we never had before. And now we have a certain test, a certain trial. In the past, it was easy to be meek and humble and have a relationship with Hashem from a place of love and closeness and intimacy. We didn't have anything else. But today that we have power, today that we are able to have autonomy to a certain degree over our own fate, then that can be a trial and a test in that relationship. We can fall into a place of koichi ve'otzem yadi that changes the nature of the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We rely on the strength of our hand, and then the relationship changes. The pasuk in this week's parasha reminds us that the connection to Hashem is never from a place of strength, from a place of asserting ourselves, but rather from a place of few. And the few, their relationship is of closeness, of intimacy, of particular choice, a particular love, not a love which is masses, not a love which is for everyone, which dilutes that love and changes its definition, but a love that is forever pure, forever intimate, forever close. We should be zeicha, we should merit to experience that love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu from the wonderful place that we are in today. We should all have a wonderful Shabbos.